led to something that really worked out in favor of 0 Point.
Yeah.
And here we go into match number 3, also listed as round 2 in the overlay, of UIUC versus Tulane. Tulane is currently up 2-0. And in the bottom left here, we have Madhatter from Tulane as a Terran. And in the top right, we have Freater from UIUC, who is also playing Terran. So it'll be a TVT on Zelnaga Caverns. And I have to admit, my Terran's really bad, so... Actually, none of our casters here play Terran. We've got 2 Protosses and a Zerg.
Yeah. We're a bit lacking for Terrans.
Bring in a 4th caster.
Let's get Dully in here.
Get Dully, let us know. Dully to tell us to use Reapers. That was a really cool build that he did in our
it was really
scrimmage
cool.
against UMN. I'd be interested to see how that works out in other games. The Reaper
Unfortunately,
Marauder.
this week to just go kill him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have never had that reaction to that build. Like,
it was interesting at the very least. I wonder if there's something there that would work well. Oh, forgot to put the name tab up. Caught it a little bit earlier. And production's gonna mirror each other almost exactly for the beginning of this game. Even the same scout time for both players. Moving out, checking their respective towers. Well, actually, Freater doesn't bother to check his tower. Not a big deal though. He's gonna head right on into the base. Wow, they both take gas in almost the exact same second. A little bit of SCV harass. Sorry.
I'm not too familiar with TVT on this map, but I imagine there'll be a decent amount of Hellion play just because of the wide openness of the naturals.
Yeah, and siege tanks in the middle can be also really interesting. From the little bit
especially with the towers.
Yeah, the towers and that big gap, you get really weird siege tank movements around this, where they go back and forth. Now, if we actually look in the base here, Freater did a lot of damage to this SCV of Madhatter's. The SCV is down to 5 HP, 1 hit away. Freater might want to jump back and try and get a kill on that, but he's currently pinned. He's actually going to lose his SCV to Madhatter right there, which is too bad. And Madhatter's SCV has got rally points all around the base. We see the first diversion in build here. We see Freater going for a tech lab, while the Tulane player is choosing to just produce a couple of Marines off a standard barracks.
So that could be a Reaper opening.
Yeah.
I think.
And his 1 Marine does take out the SCV, so they've traded pretty equally in SCVs.
Now comes the Reaper.
Yep, good call on that.
While Madhatter adds a factory.
I think, like you said, Hellions are pretty likely here for Madhatter.
However, he's adding a second gas now.
Okay.
So if we see, we really could see either I think either reactor Hellions or also maybe even a cloaked Banshee here.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the gas timings in Terran, but it does seem like an awful lot of gas for just Hellions, so
yeah,
could be Banshees, could be tanks. As a
Freater's adding combat shield.
Interesting. Off his 1 Marine.
He's not harassing with his Reaper, so it wouldn't. But he's adding a command center too. I don't know. Looks like maybe he's just trying to do some kind of Reaper expand into mass bio play. Is my guess.
Looks like it. And we do have a starport right next to that factory with the tech lab. Definitely looks like cloaked Banshees, as you called it. As the starport finishes, we should expect to see fly over and attach to that tech lab. And right now, Freater's continuing to train Reapers. He's going for some kind of mass Reaper build with 3 racks and a command center, which
wonder
could
if
be
this could be some
problematic.
sort of like Green Reaper timing push for combat. But he's not making any Marines.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be a significant problem against the Banshee. We got 1 Banshee just starting now, about 10% done. Cloak is beginning as well,
but he's starting his eBay too, so it looks like he's got this time down pretty well.
Excellent, perfect timing there for Freater. He's got his eBay.
And he's starting Marine production now as well.
And the Marines are kicking back. 1 Marine wasn't going to do anything against the Banshee. And here come the Reapers. This is an interesting build at the very least. 3 Reapers are going to do some pretty good damage.
3 Reapers against his 5 Marines might be able to. Oh, he's got 7. Might be able to do some damage.
I mean, he's got them actually really nicely lined up on the side here. There's a scan, and he's going to see that the Marines are covering that. Might be able to get in there and do some damage. Reapers have really high DPS is the thing.
Yes.
Let's see.
But the Banshee could intercept the Reapers. I guess we'll see.
Oh.
No, they pass each other up.
And one turret going down in the mineral line, so Freater's going to be perfectly defending against that. If we look at what he saw, he definitely did see that Cloak was researching at the starboard, and he responds correctly. He is actually, that scan that turned it out to be a really good idea, because he saw all the Marines at the top, and he's going to go for the right side. There are Marines there, which he didn't know, but he should be able to kill those pretty fast. As they get up, they shoot, they kill the other Marine, and he's got three Reapers running free in the mineral line. And Reapers are fast, and he's going to destroy a lot of SCVs here. Takes fire from Marines behind, but he's probably just going to try and run down as many SCVs as he can before he dies. Getting good good kills there. 3 really hurt SCVs, but gets pushed out. Good Marine control there from Madhatter to push him out.
Seven workers killed there, as the Cloak Banshee, in danger at the natural, escapes with 8 HP.
Oh, wow. Missed that entirely. Sorry about that. And here's another Banshee. Shows up. Command center is flying over, and a missile turret is queued up. But these 2 Banshees could do a lot of damage.
He has a scan.
Scans, but doesn't pick off the other Banshee. It's now got 2 HP left. He hits it once, but it's going to fly. Oh, it's so close to flying into the missile turret. And I think Freater's going to be fine, but this is more damage that he's taking right now than he would like. And, oh, both Banshees go down because they're barely in range of that missile turret. Good placement there from Freater. Good realization that his Marines can see it. And if we look at the supplies, Freater's now up by 12 supply.
Banshee's got 3 workers there, so...
Yep.
I'd say the Reapers are a better investment than the Banshee so far, with 2 of the Reapers still alive.
Agreed. Although we did draw 2 or 3 scans, maybe 2 scans, I think, to pick off those Banshees. But I do agree overall, Reapers seemed more effective. If we look at the workers killed, Freater's killed 8, while Madhatter's only killed 4.
So Madhatter looks like he's going into some sort of Marine tank play here, which I find pretty interesting because I think I think it's more likely that Terran that goes tanks is more going full mech in TVT than like Marine tank play. I feel like Marauders are a better tech choice than the tanks to go with the Marines.
Yeah, Marine tank has always kind of been a classic in TVT, so I don't think I would complain about Marine tank. It's pretty standard. Looks like he's going to move out, maybe try and take a natural here, or maybe he's just going to try and attack. Freater's really well set up on his second base, but doesn't have that many units. So if Mad Hatter pushed right now, could do a lot of damage.
And just something to note, when the Reapers moved into Mad Hatter's base, he pulled all of his SCVs, and I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but he didn't put the SCVs back on gas until just a few moments ago.
Okay, interesting. That shows up in his definite lack of gas right now. He's running his gas down to the very bottom, and is not really able to...
Freater's 20 foot ahead as a result of his gas expansion and more gas.
Yep, so it's looking pretty good here for Freater.
Freater looks like he might be going into Marine tank or something as well.
I completely missed this command center being built. I think I made some comment about him moving out to attack or expanding, and then all of a sudden there was a command center there. Must have been in between the bases, and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But we've got
Freater's adding his command center now as well for a third base.
Okay.
And Hellions take out the Reapers.
He's got a nicely placed stationary bay. Oh, excuse me. On the left side. Gonna add a depot to finish blocking that off. 2 Hellions scouting around the front, making sure there's no gold. Maybe try and sneak behind here to pick off some SCVs, but Marines catch the Hellions, and good micro there by Freater picks off both Hellions.
So right now I'd say Freater is certainly ahead at the moment. However, I think that as time goes on, Mad Hatter is going to have a better unit comp.
Definitely. With tanks, Marine only is going to have a lot of trouble, and Freater does have his factory up with a tech lab right now, so he might be...
But he hasn't kicked into action yet.
Yeah, he hasn't started building tanks, but I think that's on his to-do list.
Yeah.
Probably going to look to harass with medevacs here. He's going to have 4 medevacs ready in just a second, and actually a large medevac drop in the main of Mad Hatter would do a lot of damage. Though there are 2 Vikings,
superior Marine count.
4 Vikings actually would be problematic. They can pick off medevacs pretty fast. And
looks like he might just go for it behind his... Or no, he's probably going to take the gold.
Okay. Yep.
Which I think is a good move right now, because I'd say he definitely has an edge. Well, it looks like
Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter's moving out to deny it, though.
Yep. And
Looks like we could have a close engagement
still
here.
no siege tank production out of Freater here. He seems to be more interested in continuing bio as he adds Marauders and Vikings rather than tanks. So yep, definitely.
Freater does have better upgrades on his Marines, though.
That's a really good point, Anthony. He is 1-0 with 1-1 now completed, and second,
1 on the way.
Yeah, second level weapons actually pretty far along. But here
So
comes a
depending
pretty good
on-
attack from Mad Hatter, sieging up, and there's gonna be some bad tank blasts for Freater right here. Doesn't
careful.
see it for a while, and the Vikings are gonna do a lot of damage to those medevacs. Good control there from Freater. Doesn't sprint too far ahead. Takes one tank blast, but does a good job zoning those Marines out. It's gonna be really hard here positionally for Freater to deal with this though, because the tanks are moving up and are gonna.
Should make a move now.
And here he goes. He's gonna take some pretty serious damage from those. Oh, but he rolls through the small Marine force there pretty fast, and once you get the Marines on top of the tanks, they just destroy tanks really fast. And he's on the Vikings as well.
That was a good move
Yeah,
by Freater moving
definitely
while he was on
agreed.
siege.
As Jeff said, he needed to make a move right there, and he did it just right. Lost a lot of Marines, but you know there wasn't much in front of those tanks for Mad Hatter, and in small numbers, tank versus Marine goes heavily in favor of the Marines.
Yes.
Once you get up
And
to,
that allowed... Yeah.
I was gonna say, once you get up to larger scale battles, the tanks become more and more important, and we see Freater realizing that as we go into the later game. He is starting tank production and is adding on even more barracks.
Needs to grab siege mode, though, still.
Oh yeah, this is definitely delaying tanks, going for a bio type play. But there's
But
adding
it
at least
worked
a few.
out because it allowed him to secure his gold.
Yep.
And I'd say a pretty big advantage in this game. 20 food edge.
Yep, he's definitely going for bio now because he's got 10 barracks, with some of those not quite finished yet, but just a second he will have a complete 10. And if we look at the army tab, we see that the army value is just slightly in favor of Freater, but supply is heavily in his favor as harvester count of 65 to 55.
Yeah.
Sensor towers from both players, pretty standard in a TVT where drops are likely.
Mad Hatter's looking up like he's going to add his third up pretty soon.
Yep, builds it on the left side there, trying to hide at it, but we'll take a while to fly to either the gold or the low ground third when he chooses to do that.
And Mad Hatter's just started his +1 upgrade for weapons.
And we have a drop from Mad Hatter coming on the left side of the map. Looking
Yep.
like it's moving
And
out.
it's actually going to be spotted by a Marine if Freater's really good at noticing that. Well, Mad Hatter turns around as soon as he's fired at, and hopefully Freater saw it. Those can sometimes be a little hard to pick off. Oh, and he sends out Vikings to the right here, and it's actually
Yeah, he was looking
maybe
right
going
at
to...
it.
Wait, did he
Intercepts a second drop.
see it from the Marine or what?
I'm not sure, but he just
I
killed
think
his
he
drop.
was. I think he was controlling that Marine.
Mineral field.
Yeah, on
Well,
the on the bottom right, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So-
actually stim, so sorry, I might have missed that, but it's good Viking move there to pick off that medevac, and the other medevac got pushed back by the Marine on the left. So very good map control from Freater there, spreading out the scout Marines. But it looks like Mad Hatter, after losing that, is thinking he needs to make a push because he's marshaling his forces on the left here.
He does have a superior tank count, 8-3. As he may lose another medevac drop. Yeah, he will without doing any damage.
He is going to damage a lot of medevacs here, though.
Yeah.
Very close to losing some medevacs there for
Good
Freater.
move though by Freater to split up his army to deal with this force instead of leaving his gold unprotected.
Yep, needs to get repair on some of those medevacs. They're so low. But looks like he's going to
And-
consider making a push.
He's almost maxed at enough 40 food, so
Yep.
this looks like it could be pretty effective.
That gold has really done well for him, and he's got air control. He's got a couple more Vikings than Mad Hatter here, and
But
he
Mad
catches the
Hatter's
tanks.
advantage-
Oh, he catches the tanks entirely unsieged, sprinting in. Tanks siege up, and Freater pulls out, but did really good damage there. So he does.
I'm not sure if I like that decision to go back in after
Yeah.
his initial.
He pulled
Took a few
out, but
more.
then he thought, oh, I can get a few more, and just barely got in range of the tanks. Took more casualties than he needed to. But still, when you're maxed, you know, making an engagement like that, it's still worth it, I would say, because he can replace his units easier than Mad Hatter can.
Yeah, with his superior economy.
Indeed.
It looks
Yeah.
like Freater's going for a drop on the right.
Yep.
And that could be really effective with Mad Hatter moving out to take a fourth.
And yeah, there's actually just a couple Marines in the main that were not rallied out. But other than that, his main is entirely defenseless. Production cycle just finished for the factories, and nothing is being built in the main. Well, just starting now, right as the drop arrives. So Mad Hatter's going to have to unsiege and pull back into his main to defend, but we see here Freater is all ready to make a hard push into the natural as soon as he goes to defend the drop. Drop is essentially looking like a diversionary tactic so that he can attack the natural. But Mad Hatter intelligently leaves his tanks there to make it a little harder for Freater to just run right in.
Yeah.
Pulls his Marines back out nicely. Thought that might have gone worse for Mad Hatter, but
Mad Hatter moves his Marine force right into Freater's waiting army.
Yep, loses a few free Marines there. We actually look, there's a nice tech switch here coming out of Freater. Triple cloaked Banshees being built in the natural.
I don't like that he stopped his tank production, though.
Yeah, the lack of tanks here could be problematic in a front-on engagement. Freater sees the tanks.
But he does have 3-3 on his bio.
Yeah, and 3-3 bio, you know, actually it can hold up against tanks a little bit better.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Mad Hatter only has 2 SCVs on gas at his third base.
Okay, yeah. Just looks like he's forgot to add a couple more. Just the ones that built it are on gas right now. And nice stimmed bio force from Mad Hatter on the left here. Will pick off a bunch of Marines. Probably get the medevac as well. Good move from him there. And if he runs up, he will actually probably kill this fourth.
However, on the other side, we have Freater moving into Mad Hatter's third, taking out both tanks defending, and probably will force a lift on that.
Nope, so both players denying each other's expansions, although Freater actually gets over to defend quickly enough, holds his fourth with half health, and Mad Hatter's going to go over and might be able to save this. Miss move.
I think he really should have lifted sooner.
Yeah, he pulled some of his Marines back. He needed to stim forward, and he loses that third. That's a bit of a problem.
That's a pretty big mistake there.
Yeah, and now it's 4 big too. Oh, and all the tanks get caught.
Tanks unsieged.
Oh, that hurts as a mech player. If you're a mech and you lose that many tanks, it's essentially game over. And Bio, yep, comes in, backed up by cloaked Banshees. We've got 10 Marines at a time coming out for Freater, along with 3 Banshees.
And I think
6 times the army supply for Freater.
Yep, and this is essentially game over. Freater played that out really well, bringing it back for UIUC. And there we see GG.
Pretty well played game on both sides. Just a couple of mistakes in the late game.
Yep, I thought I remembered looking and seeing that Mad Hatter was gold, but he played that out very well.
Yeah.
If he's gold is better than I thought it was. So,
yeah,
good play.
It was really well played game on both sides.
So now it's 2-1 in favor of Tulane.
Yeah. The next map being Daybreak.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah. I think that kind of shows the difficulty of mech there, where like one mistake leaving your tanks on siege and the game's over.
Yep. Once you get into the super large armies, if there's an engagement while sieged, it can be really hard to kill mech, but you got to play perfectly. Well, not perfect.